Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's a great day to be alive. I like that Travis Tritt song. My name is Melissa. I am Coach Mel. I have Grow Better, which is a life empowerment coaching business. I'm just starting this podcast, so I'm using my morning rides and my pop-up podcasts to kind of get an idea of how all this works and get my juices flowing. You know how that is. Got to get things going. Got to get you a little jump start. The actual Saturday shenanigans sessions, it's a mouthful, will be Saturdays. I was thinking about doing it around 1 o'clock on Saturdays, but I do believe I'll make it a little bit later, maybe about 4. See the brake lights in front of me on my face. Yeah, about 4, I'm thinking, because that way everybody's kind of got all their little errands and running around done for the day, the things that you want to do on Saturdays. You're in from doing this or doing that. You finish taking your nap, your afternoon nap. It's about 4 o'clock, and you'll be able to see them or hear them other times as well because they're going to be saved on different sites. So right now I'm headed to the gas station. Forgot to get gas last night. Didn't remember it till 9 o'clock. So a few days ago when I was talking about it'd be great to have a business that when people realize they need a gas and didn't feel like going to the gas station, they could come up and sorry, got a tickle in my throat. They could call somebody and be like, hey, can you bring me a couple gallons? And that would have been great last night when I remembered if I could have just called somebody to get them to bring me a couple of gallons of gas and get me going for today. Now, granted, I'm glad I didn't pay somebody to do that last night. Today, I kind of want to talk about boundaries. I think that it's really, really hard to set boundaries. No, you know what? It's not hard to set boundaries. Very easy to set boundaries. Simple. The hard part is standing by them. When I have stuff that's important to me and somebody else interferes with that, then I need to be able to cut that line and just say no. But it's really hard a lot. There's sometimes that, there's people in your life, family, friends, that they need you for something. But it is going to cause a reaction, whether physically, mentally, or spiritually. It is going to hinder you. That's not cause a reaction. It's going to hinder you physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and I value those things. I value myself holistically, and I need to stand up and make sure that my values, even if other people don't accept them as their own, they respect them as mine. And that goes for me respecting other people's boundaries as well. If I don't really want to give an example, because if somebody sees this, then they may kind of get their feelings hurt. See, that's again because I don't want to upset others while taking care of myself. That's where it gets hard. When I tell someone no, then it affects them. And should I worry about that with them? Well, if I'm being asked to do something or being told to do something that is not my responsibility, then how is it my problem when they get mad because I don't do it? That's a tough one. It's a really tough one. Sometimes people will have expectations of you. Sometimes when you're around people, they want you to act a certain way, do a certain thing. Sorry about the windshield wipers. I've got to try to get that ice patch off my windshield. This is so much better. Um, I've got to respect my boundaries, or other people will not respect my boundaries. If I respect my own boundaries, I mean stick to them. I made them. I committed to them. So now it's up to me to stick to them. When you're setting boundaries, the most important thing is to figure out what's the no-go. What is it in your life that is so important that it's a no-go. Nobody has any say-so over that. It's in your little circle. It's in your circle. If you have a pen and paper right now, draw a circle. Right in that circle, visualize in your mental circle what is untouchable, what you will not allow something or somebody to negatively affect. Think about those things. Is it your finances? Is it your serenity? Is it your kids? Maybe it's your house. Maybe it's your recovery. There should be more than one or two, but if it's not more than like 5 or 6, that's normal. That's normal because we're reasonable people. We see things come up. We know this happens. Okay, now I want you to think about a circle outside of that circle, just a little bit bigger. And what is the stuff that's negotiable? You know, you might let your husband or your wife interactions affect that certain boundary, but you're not going to let people from outside. You're not going to let some stranger or a coworker impose on you in that way. Maybe that is your plans for the weekend, if it doesn't include anything in your main circle. This weekend, I had some things some little things I wanted to get done. I got a couple of them done. It wasn't because anybody else really kept me from doing any of them. It was just the way the day went. It didn't happen, and that's okay. That's okay. I was still constructive in several of the things I did, so it's really okay. I'm satisfied with how my day was. Then so I want you to also put in your mind the people that are closest to you and the people you regularly interact with. By closest, I don't mean like emotionally closest. I mean the people that you're surrounded by. Your mom, your husband, your kids, your coworkers, your boss, the bus driver, the lady at the store that you go to all the time. You see her, but you don't hang out with her. I wouldn't really worry about putting her. Landlord, just the people who are in your surroundings on a regular basis. Preacher, church goers that you're friends with, people from your Sunday school group. Think about those people. Now, mentally, I want you to look at your circles and think about those people and look to see if any of those people, see if they respect your boundaries. How do they respect your boundaries? Do they respect your boundaries? And who are the most likely to try to push your boundaries or completely act like they don't exist? Usually those are the people that are closest to you emotionally. Typically when the people that are just close to you physically but not so much emotionally when they try, it's easier to pull back and say no. Or they're less likely to try because they don't want to push something that they wouldn't want to do. I'm the type of person that if I'm close to somebody, I'm getting a lot better. And I think it's good to ask somebody if they mind. And I try to take into consideration the person, what all the person has going on, where they're going in life, what they're doing, who they're around, their mentality, their physical wellness, all of these to try to find if I need something from someone or something of that nature. And I try not to drain people of the things that are important for them, because that's the boundary too. If your serenity is a priority, then I try not to drain people of their serenity. Try not to just draw it out of them. You know, there are some people that you've been around that are just completely draining. They steal the life out of you just being around them. A lot of times too, those people are the ones that are your family or closest friends. You love them, you want the best for them, but you just have a hard time being around them because of the expectations they put on you and feeling like you have to live up to those, be accepted by them or to be a good person according to them. That's where we have to stop. Those people that drain us, those people that push our boundaries, those people that try to step over them every chance they get because it's all about them, it's time to find a way to let them know your boundaries. Let them know what they are. It doesn't have to be in a mean way. It doesn't have to be at a time when you're frustrated. It doesn't have to be just some cute little dogs that are walking with their little shirts on. It doesn't have to be rude. It doesn't have to be abrasive. You know, say for instance, somebody wants you to do something and you really, really don't want to because it's going to affect your serenity. You know it is. And it's going to mess with you physically. You know that. But it's somebody that you care about, so you want to do it anyway. Maybe it's the time to, one way I guess, you could go and do the activity or whatever it was, do it, but tell them, listen, I don't mind helping, but I need you to take into consideration what I have going on too. I need you to really work with me on this and help me to help you. I'm sure your husband or whoever it is would get mad. It's normal, but if they continuously stay upset with you and they don't respect it or understand it, then they're not supposed to. You have a bubble around you. You got the things that are closest to you in your bubble. And what a problem is when I'm gonna use husband. All right, when your husband that you love so much that you just love tremendously, that's one of yours in your main circle. That's one of the untouchables that you won't let anybody else touch. But you also, even though that's in your circle of your untouchables, that person's got to respect your boundaries too. They don't get a free pass. You know, they don't get you know what, I'm just going to do everything you want me to do because I think you're amazing and important. You're extremely important to me, so I'm going to do everything you want me to do. No. That is going to cause bitterness and resentment. So, on both ends. Both ends. So today, as you start your week, think about your boundaries. Think about what is untouchable in your life. Think about how important things are, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Think about what you value, your passions, your dreams, your desires. Think of all those things and the people in your life, and try to balance out what's important to you and who has access to those things. Set those boundaries. Give yourself a chance to really, really structure yourself and take time for what's important for you, and practice ways to tell people this is my boundaries. I don't mind doing this, but I need you to respect my serenity. Okay, I can't go do this when so and so's around because that bothers me. So I'm not gonna cater to you when it affects my serenity because blah blah boo is there with you. Or I have cleaning and stuff to do around the house. I really can't go babysit for 4 or 5 hours because there's other things involved in my life that I'm having to do after working all week. So no, I can't. You may be able to compromise. Can you bring the kid to me? Can the kid come over here and watch movies for a few hours while I do what I have to do at my house and still entertain the child, depending on age. But I mean, this is tricky. It's sticky because it can cause some ruffled feathers. It can cause some hurt feelings, cause some frustrations, but it can also cause some peace. It can also cause some serenity. It can also cause you to be able to feel a joy, a completeness, a happiness, a light feeling, Focus on your boundaries this week. Start out this day focusing on your boundaries. And I'm going to try to make my pop-up morning ride sessions kind of talk about boundaries and maybe throw out some situations to give you guys a chance to think about what you would do in this situation, how this situation kind of corresponds with what you might be going through, have gone through. I wish it was a way to interact with these because that would be great. It would be really good to be able to interact with them so that people could really see, and put out a situation, ask questions. I'm always available. My Facebook Grow Better page, or my website, www.growbettercoach.com, spelled exactly like it sounds. Grow Better Coach. Hi, I'm available. Hit me up. Mention that you saw this podcast video cast. Mention that you saw this if you have a question, and I'll be happy to answer your question. I think you all are amazing. I think everyone who is tuning into this and who is not tuning into this has value. Everybody has value. Use your value. You are valuable. Have a wonderful day.